And now an update on a missing person story. We told you about this one yesterday.
Yeah, there are more charges for the ex-boyfriend of a missing mother.
Now family and investigators are raising the stakes to try to find her. Our Hallie Turner is joining us live in the newsroom. So what are investigators and family asking for at this stage in the investigation? Person's case to a murder case. We're learning new details about what led up to those charges. It's been a little more than 3 weeks since 30-year-old Jamilla Smith's mom reported her missing.
Jamilla Smith, a 30-year-old mother of two, was found dead after she called 911 to report that her ex-boyfriend was chasing her and that she was afraid for her life. But it took the police 6 months to find her.
Authorities say she was last heard by a 911 operator screaming and saying her ex-boyfriend was breaking into her home.
Welcome to Urban Crime Stories. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and turn on all notifications to be informed of future crime stories. The story of Jamilla Smith takes us to Aiken, South Carolina, which has a population of just over 168,000 as of the 2020 census. Its overall crime rate is 36.32 incidents per 1,000 residents during a standard year. Residents generally consider the southern part of the city the safest because the chance of being a victim of crime there is as low as 1 in 40, compared to 1 in 19 in the northern part of the city. Unfortunately, Jamilla fell victim to a violent crime when her family reported her missing.
It's not a crime to go missing until we run into something that's nefarious about them being missing.
Along with her 34-year-old ex-boyfriend Gabriel Horman on December 2nd, 2023. According to her mother, Tina McCraw, Smith called her on the 2nd of December and told her that Gabriel angrily threw out her phone from the car window as they went shopping. Tina got worried when her daughter did not contact her, and on the morning of December 3rd, she called the police to do a welfare check on Smith's house, after which the police reported her missing.
Called me from his phone around 3, and she said, Daniel threw my phone out of the window on I-20.
This case of a missing person was sinister because Jamilla was part of a relationship that filled her life with scars. According to Tina, Jamilla's boyfriend was a habitual abuser, but the family only got to know about the abuse in early 2023. Smith's family said that Jamilla had a history of calling the police on Gabriel for domestic violence, with records showing 3 calls on July 2nd, August 22nd, and November 9th regarding incidents involving Gabriel. When she called them in November, deputies responded to a domestic dispute at Smith's home and they observed evidence of physical abuse, such as choking and scratching. Moreover, they found Jamilla with a bloody face and dried blood in Gabriel's fingernails, which served as evidence, and they charged Harmon with domestic violence. However, one way or another, he always distracted the police and made his way out of the jail. One of Jamilla's friends, Brittany, said they would often see Jamilla with bruises and marks, but she bore it all because of her immense love for her 2 young sons. Tina also revealed that her daughter often said she thinks she wouldn't make it out alive of her abusive life. Jessica Coach, executive director of Cumbie Center, after Jamilla's case came to the limelight, explained to the media that individuals may remain in abusive relationships for various reasons, like financial independence, fear, love, and concern for their children's well-being. Coach mentioned that it typically takes a person 8 to 10 attempts to leave an abusive relationship permanently, emphasizing that the period when a victim decides to leave is the most dangerous. Thinking about Jamilla's kids, Coach stressed that domestic violence not only has long-term effects on adults, but also impacts children who witness it. She pointed out that children often idolize their caregivers and tend to mimic their behaviors, perceiving abusive behavior as normal when it is not. With ongoing investigations, the police came to the media and asked for help to find Gabriel, and this led to a man telling them that Gabriel had taken a car from him that had a tracker attached to it. The police traced the car and found it parked at the 400 block of Carpentersville Road. They then entered the house nearby and found Gabriel inside, which led to him being taken into custody on December 5th. He was first charged with second-degree domestic violence, and later charged with the kidnapping of Jamilla Smith. The car with the tracker was also thoroughly investigated, and police found blood in the trunk, which later served as evidence and led to them charging Gabriel with the murder of Jamilla on December 23rd. They compared the blood with sampled DNA and received positive results for the first time in the case. An affidavit for an arrest warrant reported that on December 2nd, Smith called 911 from her home at 425 Old Jackson Highway and claimed her ex-boyfriend had broken into her house and was chasing her down the road. It was written that she sounded out of breath while talking on the phone. When the dispatcher asked where she would meet the deputy, the sound of a car's engine starting was heard. Smith was heard screaming and the phone fell to the ground. However, the dispatcher could still hear what was happening. As stated in the affidavit, a male voice was heard telling her to get into the car so he could take her to the emergency room. Smith continued to scream and was heard yelling, "No, don't touch me, don't hurt me, please." And "You hit me," according to the affidavit. The male voice responded, "You jumped in front of the car." She replied, "No, I didn't." She continued to scream, "No," indicating her arm was injured, and said, "You ran over me," according to the affidavit. The male voice was later identified as that of Gabriel's.
Jamilla's last phone call to 911, she said her ex-boyfriend broke into her house and was chasing her down the road. On the call, Jamilla sounds like she is out of breath. A car engine is heard revving. Jamilla is screaming. The phone appears to drop, and a male is heard telling Jamilla he will take her to the emergency room. Jamilla continues to scream, "Don't hurt me," and "You hit me." The phone call ended, but she never made it to the hospital.
The fact that Jamilla had not contacted anyone after that, not her parents, her kids, or even friends, made the case more sided towards homicide. According to her friends, they had an unbreakable bond with her, making it impossible for her not to contact anyone if she was alive.
She would call me upset. We would see her with bruises.
The police, based on the audio recording of the call, suspected that Gabriel hit her with his car and didn't try to save her or take her to the hospital afterward. The family at first offered a $5,000 reward for anyone who found or gave a clue about Jamilla's whereabouts. However, later, when they found out that she had been potentially murdered, they increased it to $10,000. All this was because they wanted to find their 30-year-old daughter and mother for their grandsons.
$10,000 reward that anybody know any type of information to call in and let somebody know something.
Amidst the prolonged process of searching for Jamilla, her family complained that the police were keeping them in the dark and requested the FBI to help them find their daughter.
At this time, the family is requesting that SLED take over Jamilla's investigation, removing Aiken County Sheriff's Office entirely from the investigation. We are also asking that the FBI step in and assist.
With help from agencies in South Carolina and Georgia, a second suspect named Brian Hampton Jr. was arrested on April 19, 2024. However, they still couldn't locate Jamilla's body. According to Jamilla's family, Brian was a close friend of the family, and it was hard to accept that such a close person was an accomplice. Upon his arrest, he was charged with accessory after the fact to murder. According to the arrest warrant, Brian helped Gabriel with buying cell phones, transportation, and disposing of Jamilla's body. Jamilla's mother, Tina, said she believed that Brian's family knew he was involved because they didn't reply to her texts or calls when she texted Brian's family regarding her daughter's disappearance and asking if they had any idea where she was. However, finding suspects was not over. On May 2, 2024, a third suspect named Clyde Hendley was arrested. Hendley was also accused of helping Gabriel in disposing of Jamilla's body, knowing well enough that it was a case of murder. He was also charged with accessory after the fact to murder, just like Brian Hampton. On May 9, 2024, authorities from the Aiken County Sheriff's Office found the remains of 30-year-old Jamilla Smith in a wooded area on Silver Bluff Road. It was a place they had searched already. The discovery was made with the help of the Aiken County Coroner, the Aiken Department of Public Safety, and the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, who also ordered an autopsy. The autopsy report cleared that Jamilla died from 2 gunshots in the head.
We have taken statements, evidence processing. There's still a significant amount of evidence that needs to be processed, electronic data, and so forth.
Kimberly Kite, who runs a nonprofit organization that helps find missing people, said that Jamilla's family contacted her for assistance. Kite emphasized the goal of bringing Jamilla home and mentioned their prayers for the family and the hope that the second suspect would reveal her location. As of now, the specific trial date for the case related to Jamilla Smith's remains has not been publicly announced. Legal proceedings can take time, especially in complex cases. However, Gabriel's lawyer, Charles Lyons, has advised his clients not to comment on pending criminal cases, although he has expressed the family's remorse for Smith's disappearance. What are your thoughts about this tragic story? Please share your comments in the comments down below. Remember, if you are new to the channel and like the content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and turn on all notifications so that you will not miss any future crime stories. Your support is greatly appreciated. Until next time, I will see you with another episode of Urban Crime Stories.